Victoria. Thank you for joining Megan's Bookish Life IG Live.
Thanks for having me.
I have to say, it is officially December, but I remember you telling me that you went to Chicago for Lollapalooza this summer, right?
I did. Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay, I've never been to Lolla, but
hmm
pretty much everyone I know has. I need to know from your opinion. Well, first, was this your first time, or have you been before?
I have been before. I think this was my fifth time. But the first two times I went all the days, and the last three times I've just gone one day, because, for example, it's really expensive,
Yeah.
and two, it's a lot.
Have you tried? I'm trying to think. So I know 3 days. Has there been like people you've only wanted to see one day, and that's why you did the one day? Because I mean, I would.
Right, yeah. So I haven't bought the whole like 4 days, because they'll start selling 4 days, 4 days, 4 days, and then I just wait to see the single day lineups. And then this time and last time I went with my daughter. We've decided it's like a new thing. And so my goal for this year is like hopefully they'll have good bands, and there'll be one day where we go, and I want to splurge for like the VIP just one time, right? Life is short.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, what do you get with the VIP?
You just get to be a little bit closer. You don't get like a whole lot. It's not anything. There's VIP, and then there's like super good VIP, and I just want VIP.
I remember last year seeing a picture of because I know you went for Olivia Rodrigo, right?
We did. We saw her.
I remember seeing for Chapel Rowan that drone
hmm
picture of everyone waiting for her. You are a true. I didn't see which that, but for you are a trooper for even going to Lollapalooza. That's crazy.
Right. Well, we did see her. My daughter and I went that day the year before, and my daughter, that was like her number one thing, number one she wanted to see. And I was like, there was somebody else that was playing at the same time that I kind of wanted to see, but I was like, no, we'll see your number one. And I listened to the music before we went, and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. And then it was like, I don't think anybody realized like how big it was going to be. It was like the whole everybody went there.
It was the picture I see. I even how many years later I'm like, that's nuts. I mean, good for her.
Yeah. Yeah. hmm
Before we go on, I have to ask real quick about Lala. This is a dumb question. I've never been. Do they have
hmm
openers, or is it just that band and then they go on?
So it's like there's multiple stages, and then you have to plan your day, because there's like these, and then you have to see, okay, at this time I'm going to see this band, and then can we make it over here to see this band? You kind of have to like plan out your day and know where you're going, and then they just get on stage, they do their thing, and they get off stage. It's not like a regular concert,
And I'm okay with that. I feel like because I know who I want to go to. So
right?
get on stage, I'll love you, and then I'll leave.
Yeah, I saw Gigi Perez. She was so good. She was really
No,
good.
I know
Yeah.
the name. Um, you're gonna talk me into it. I always keep saying
hmm
I'm too old, but I'm also like my back is hurting once I turn 30. So, but I do want I do want
Just
to
do
try.
it once. Do it once. It's well, like of course, I know you will agree. Like the dream would be is that Harry Styles puts out an album, Harry Styles goes to Lollapalooza, and then I know you will go.
You know what? My Mrs. Styles bracelet says yes. Yeah, that
Yes.
I Okay, so let's get into your writing.
Okay.
So I love this aspect of you. So I've talked to a lot of authors who say they got into writing via like fan fiction. They started that way.
hmm
Um, your Amazon bio, which I absolutely love, says, and I quote, in high school, she wrote love stories for her friends in which they'd
hmm
meet their favorite bands or the movie star they had a crush on.
hmm
So you wrote fan fiction before fan fiction had an actual.
Right. Yeah.
I need to know, and you don't think that like I won't know who it is. I need to
Uh-huh.
understand who did you write about back then? Like who was the main person or people you were writing about with your friends?
Sure. I had a couple of friends that had really big crushes, and I did too, on like Sting from the Police.
Really?
Yeah, we were too young to have like he's too old, but we were crazy for him then. And then like Rob Lowe,
Yeah, makes sense.
um the Brat Pack, like those kind of people. Cause and then it was all like longhand. And then this was before people had phones at school. So what you do is you would keep notebooks with your friends, and like you would write like a note to your friend in your notebook, and then when you switch periods, you pass off the notebook, they read your note, they write back to you, and that's like what you did all day. It was like texting, but with like pen and paper. And I would write the smutty love stories where they met their crushes and did really inappropriate things, and we just passed them back and forth.
I had to pause because this is nuts. So my question also says like I wrote that I did fan fiction too, but when I was in high school, I'm trying, yeah, high school, we only had like the flip phones. We like you could
Hmm.
had that, um, but my friend and I mean, obviously a couple years after you started writing about Sting, we did the whole notebook thing with the Jonas Brothers, and like
See?
flashbacks. Like she was never in my classes. Like so we wrote the notebooks when we switched by our lockers. We would pass the notebook around. Victoria, oh my gosh.
Right?
This is like a generational thing. It keeps going
It
down.
is. Yeah, it makes me happy. I'm glad to hear it. We
Yeah.
need to keep it alive.
I had to text my friend and see if she remembers that because I do. I was
Hmm.
a big Jonas fan. Um so now that you write romance for a living,
Hmm.
do you because I feel like I would do too much. And like fan fiction, a little bit your background. Do you get inspiration from certain celebrities sometimes? I know like authors say they're their own author, own character, yes. But are you ever like, he would make a good book?
Well, when I first started writing my first book, I kind of pictured at the very, very beginning, I wanted the guy to look like one of the actors on The Last Kingdom,
Okay.
which is
The which one?
not Uhtred, but like Uhtred's best friend.
Okay. If I saw,
Um, yeah. So he's like dark haired and he's got like a beard. He's super cute. But then as I started writing the book, like he kind of changed in my mind and he wasn't really like anything close to that actor anymore. So like I have intentions of making it like kind of look like somebody, but then when I start writing, it just goes its own way. So I don't really do that.
I feel like that as a reader too. I would be like, okay, I want to picture Jonathan Bailey as this character. And when I read
Yes.
a little bit, I'm kind of like, no, this person's definitely different in my head as I read on, and it's not even related to anybody I've ever seen. So
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, um, so getting into the books too, I mean, because you're an author, um,
Right.
you have written a series called the Marley Creek Romance Books.
Right.
So it is your one only series so far, and
Mm-hmm.
you're releasing them in 2024. So it's almost been 2 years. Congrats.
Right.
There we go.
Thank you.
A lot of authors, and I don't have the capacity in my brain to do it, but a lot of authors write multiple series at once. Um, and I just good great for them. I can't keep things straight in general, especially in life. So, but you kept to one series. Did you always plan to do like one series at a time, or did you have some things pop in your head and be like, I can't write those right now. I gotta focus on one.
Yeah, so when I first started writing originally, I wanted to write cozy mysteries. So
Mm,
I started writing a cozy mystery, but then I got really bogged down in the middle, and I was like, "Oh, this is so boring." So then I stopped writing it because if it's too boring for me to write, it's going to be really boring to read. So then, when I decided to switch to a romance, then at first I thought, okay. I have an idea for one book, and then I had another idea for the second book, and then the third book, and then a fourth book, and I was like, and that's gonna be it. That's all I'm gonna do. But I didn't understand like when I first started writing. So the fourth book I wanted to write was going to feature a female-female couple. And I didn't know when I first started writing that if you write like male female relationships and then you switch mid-series to a female female relationship, it's hard for your readers to all follow you because that might not be their jam.
Okay.
So then I was like, well, crud. So what do I do now? So I wrote a couple more in the main series, male, female, and now coming out the day after Christmas will be the first book in the new series I'm starting, which is going to, it's called the Marley Creek Love for All series. So same universe, some overlap of characters, but these stories will all be queer. So that female that story that I wanted to tell, starting from the first book, it's when like the lead for my new series, she is introduced in my first book. Like, I don't think people will remember that, just me, but she's in there. And now she finally gets her own book. And so I'll be switching back and forth between that series and the Marley Creek series, back and forth. So they'll be like queer book, male, female book, queer book, male, female book. And they'll have their each series because, people like to read what they like to read. And I want everybody to be happy in my small little town. And so that's a little bit of writing, but it won't be like at the same time. Like I can't keep that straight in my brain. I need to do one book at a time.
I didn't think about that until you just said it about if you're doing interesting about that because as a reader, if they're interconnected standalones, I mean, I wouldn't have trouble, but I see what you mean about if someone's like, oh, that's not my jam usually. But I didn't even think about that. Was that something that you had to figure out as you wrote, or did you like figure it out before you wrote the whole thing? Like well, the rest of the female.
Well, when I told some like established writers and I was like, this is what I'm thinking about doing. They're like, you might want to think about how you present it because like when you have a certain type of series, then you might like confuse the readers.
Okay. Yeah, this is why I have these things. My mind is always open. But also with writing the two different series, they're still in the same world. So I think that
Yes.
if I had to do that too, I would like to have them in the same universe. Because when authors do like a series that are not connected to each other of their own, they're godsends. My brain does not
Mm-hmm.
work like that.
Mm-mm. It's hard.
Do you even with your one series? Do you have well coming up too? Do you have
Hmm.
like a sticky note system? Because I used to ask that, and I never do anymore. Because I would. Do you
Oh
keep
yeah.
characters in your mind, or do you write those down?
I have there's an A to Z guide. So then I try to put each character their name and like what book they're in and who they're related to. And then I have they call it a series Bible and everybody's supposed to do it. And mine is just like a really long Word document that says certain things about the town to try and keep the continuity. And then I have a proofreader that will also catch mistakes as far as continuity and things like that. So as best I can, you have to have some kind of system if you write more than one book taking place in the same area.
That sounds like something I would like to do in my own life. Like not even a writer. I'm like I need I need a Word document of things
Right.
labeled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I remember some people were like, yeah, I do some notebooks, but I don't like put them in order. Like some authors, and I go, you do your thing. If you can keep it up,
Mm-hmm.
do your thing. Um, I have to get into the release before uh
Mm-hmm.
this one. So, well, the one coming up. So it's called Your Mr. Brightside, which came out in July of this year.
Right.
So I have a question,
Mm-hmm.
and I might be saying this as a reader because I don't know behind the scenes. So enlighten me because I don't have the reader Bible or the writer Bible thing you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
So this book has an age gap where the woman is older and the male main character is younger. And I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think someone said in a review it was a 5 year age gap. Is that
Uh-huh.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah. It's an age gap because um the main character Brandy, she's a mom. She has like a kiddo that's going to be going to kindergarten. And Luke, the love interest, he's 26. He has no kids. He's currently living like he doesn't live in his parents' house, but he lives like they have a garage apartment. So
Yeah.
he kind of lives at home while she's a mom and she has a child to take care of and she has her house or her apartment and her own like housing crisis that happens during the book. So the age gap is like where they are in their life, not so much just the years.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I have
Mhm.
these podcasts. Because they're definitely different spots in their life. That makes
Right.
complete sense. I'm probably Luke, but older, so switched a little bit. I don't have kids going into kindergarten or any kids, but um, it's kind of like, since that's been explained to me, I'm so curious. Um, do you have that sounds so weird. Behind the scenes, do reader or writers have something where like a cheat sheet where it's like this trope means this trope? Like I'm trying to explain this in like a great way. Do you have a cheat sheet you can kind of go to and be like, I wrote about this, it's going to be labeled this trope, or do you have to come out with your tropes by yourself?
Well, no, that's a great question. So, like, especially for marketing, you need to like think up tropes and mini tropes. And so there's like, I have gone to like blog posts, like 150 romance tropes, looking through it to see what like matches my books. And then once in a while, like, there's something called, so this would be just for sapphic, so women loving women romance. There's one called toaster oven. And I'm like, what is a toaster oven? And that's somebody who like they were straight as far as they knew, and then they met somebody and they fell for that one person. Like their oven popped up.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so good.
right. There's
Okay,
so many.
I was like, that's crazy. I was wondering if there's a cheat sheet. So, do you write your tropes? Okay, do you look up tropes first, or do you like write them and then write your book and you're like, oh, these are part of my book too, or do you like kind of start with tropes first?
So usually what I do is it's like what trope haven't I written about or what trope do I like to
Mm.
write about? And then I go from there. And then when I'm looking like to me, I kind of have each book has like a main trope. So when I do like a reader event, I'll put like by each book what the main trope is for the romance readers. And then when I go online and I look at the different tropes, I'm trying to find like other ones that also match the book because they can't like people think of the craziest stuff. And so I got, I got to see what else is out there.
It's the toaster oven. I am not going to forget about
Hmm.
that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. See, you wouldn't have known that without that cheat sheet. So thank you for the
Right.
cheat sheet.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, I this question I like I phrased so kind of creepy. I'm gonna read it out loud. I said on August 26th, you posted about your work in progress on Instagram.
Hmm.
Um, but the work in progress said in the Instagram post that it involves a main character named Kate, and there's
Hmm.
a pet bakery and supplies shop in the story.
Hmm.
Um, is that the book releasing after Christmas?
Right. It's called Love and the Three of Cups, and Kate owns like it's a pet bakery, but I thought just a pet bakery is not enough. So she also like sells pet supplies and whatnot. And the meet cute is Kate and Hannah. They like have their little meet cute during a pet psychic a Halloween party where Hannah is telling like the pets, she's doing the tarot readings for the pets.
Is that a real thing? Can I ask that?
I assume there's got to be somewhere, right? There's got to be.
I was like, did you do research? Did you go to one? Oh, now I need to know.
No, I did not do research on if there's actually tarot card readers that do pet readings, but I do have a tarot card reader that she was my consultant on the book. So like anything where I talked about tarot cards and what they meant and things like that, I would send her like little super terrible rough draft like paragraphs and say, does this sound right? Or I'd ask her a question and I'd say, does this card match what I'm trying to do here? What do you think? And I made sure thanked her in the acknowledgments, and she read my advanced reader copy of the book, and she liked it. So I was very happy because I don't want to do it. Plus, also she's queer, so like I wanted to make sure that the tarot card reading is on point, and so she approved. So yay!
I'm so excited.
Hmm.
Okay, Victoria,
Hmm.
this darn flew by. So before we go,
Hmm.
what is next for you? I know the book's coming out. You got these signings, any work in progress for next year? Tell me everything that
Sure.
you can tell me.
Okay, so the Love and the Three of Cups comes out on the day after Christmas, so 12/26. And it does take place between Halloween and Christmas. So it's got a lot of Christmas vibes. Hopefully people will still read it when they're having their Christmas hangover. And then next year, the one thing for sure I'm doing is Chicago North Romance Writers has their spring fling. And I'm a member of the Chicago North Romance Writers. And so I'll be at our spring fling event where we have just panels with amazing, well-known authors. And then we have a free public signing, and that's in April. And then writing wise, my next book will be like back to the Marley Creek series, and this one's going to be um, male, female, and they're both divorced, and they like she has a son and he has a daughter, and they connect because their son and daughter are at like freshman orientation for high school.
Okay.
So it's going to like follow the high school, like the freshman year of high school year with the parents, falling in love and winding up together, but having troubles along the way. So that'll be next. And then I'll go back to the Marley Creek Love for All series. And my proofreader, when she finished Love and the Three of Cups, she's like, who's going to be the next couple? And I'm not 100% sure.
But made you feel good
We'll
though.
find out. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was really happy she's interested. She had three potential like couples that she thought might be next. And yes, they will all get a book. I just have no clue on the order as of yet.
that's like me whenever I guess a couple that's going to come in the next book. I'm always wrong, but I'm
Mhm.
excited whoever they pick.
Right.
Okay, Victoria,
Mhm.
thank you for coming on Megan's Bookish Life IG Live. I'm going to say this with my whole heart. Stay warm.
You too, Megan. You too.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Have a
I
good night.
really appreciate it. Bye.
Bye.